Hello and welcome back to Wireman's Whimsy. I am Lorraine and we are going to make this final card using Natural Botanicals to finish up the series this week. And I am using the Hello from the Layering Leaves set. And this is a one-sheet wonder. So we are going to build the whole one-sheet wonder in the video. So if you know how to do a one-sheet wonder or you want to fast forward through, I won't be offended because I won't know. This one I used the Petunia Pop and Pretty in Pink to do the flowers. For the card we're going to build online, I'm going to use Azure Afternoon in first value and second value. So that's what we're doing today. So we're going to get started. I am using the Lemon Lime Twist with the large flower, or large frond of leaves. And I am just going to come in, and I'm going to kind of come in from the middle like this. And then I'm going to mirror that at the bottom in the middle like this. And then we're going to do the sides, and then I'm going to fill in kind of backwards. So I'm going to do this. And this. Okay, and I need to add more, so I'm just going to come in and I'm trying to layer the stem up so that it kind of fits in, so it looks like it's coming off the stem for the flowers or the leaves already. Okay, so I'm just filling in at this point, and you can fill in however you like. I'm going to just pop this down kind of like this here, I think, because keeping in mind when you do a one-sheet wonder, you should have a circle in the middle that's filled in. Otherwise you'll have gaps in your cards. So I'm just going to pop that like that. And if there's overlap, it's fine. It's absolutely no biggie if there is overlap. And keeping in mind too that the center of the card is where you're going to be doing your cutting, and you can decide how you trim. I cut to 5.5 by 4 1/4, and then I trim it down to 5 1/4 by 4, depending on where things are and how things look. So I'm just going to pop this one down like that, and I'm having a look, and I've got a bit of a gap here, so I'm going to fill that gap in there just by doing that. And I think we're okay. Now, the beauty of the one-sheet wonder is if you decide that once you cut the paper up, if you decide there's a gap, you can absolutely always come in and fill the gap. It's not, you don't have to have this exactly right. So I'm going to come in, and this is Granny Apple Green that I'm coming in with, and I'm just going to add some leaves kind of in the middle. Like this, again, kind of filling in that center piece. I am a bit low as far as the center goes. I'm a bit this way, but then I'm just coming in and I'm adding in leaves. Again, this is the Granny Apple Green that I'm using, and I'm coming around, just starting to fill that circle out from the middle a little bit. So then I'm going to add another one. I'm going to add another one down here, and I'm going to add another one kind of up here like this. Now, I'm a bit bare here and a bit bare here, but I'm going to do my flowers before I do anything else. And I'm just going to check that I have the details side up, and I do. So I'm going to come around now with my Azure Afternoon, and I'm just going to add flowers like this. Now, you don't have to fill the flowers in. You can just leave them as outlines if you want. It's entirely up to you how you do this. I'm doing this to kind of cover up those stems a little bit. And I did put a flower right in the middle there. It's not going to end up being in the middle when I cut this because I did go off. If you like, you can draw a pencil line so you know exactly where your middle is, because my middle is now just a little bit here instead of being up here. But I'm just going to keep adding in flowers wherever I feel I'd like them to be. Again, just kind of widening that center circle out. And I'm going to pop one there like that. And I'm actually going to add another one there like that. I'm a bit empty here, so I'm just going to add another flower right like that. Okay, now I'm just going to clean off my stamp. Whoops. I'm going to throw everything all over the place, but I'm going to clean off the stamp so that I can turn it over. And then I have to remember I'm doing second value. So I'm just taking the stamp, turning it over so I've got the flat side, and I'm going to ink it up, stamp away, and then come in with second value, just so it's that little bit light of a color. I thought about using balmy blue, but it wasn't quite as bright as I wanted it to be. So I thought if I go second value, then it's a matching shade, and you can still see the details of the flower. The trick is to remember to stamp away so you get your second value. And you'll notice on here, it's starting to get darker and darker. If you always stamp away in the same place, your ink will end up getting a bit darker because it's saturated at that point. So try and find just slightly different place to stamp away. And I'm just wiping the excess ink off because I don't want to end up haloing anything. So I'm just coming in and adding the ink. Again, really focusing on second value, stamping away. And honestly, if you make a mistake, chances are it's just going to be in one kind of corner of your card, and so you end up with 3 instead of 4 sections. Okay, so that's done. All right, I'm going to move all of my stamp pads and stamps out of the way. I'm going to bring in my paper trimmer, and I'm going to cut this at 5.5. And I can already see how I'm over this way more. And then I'm going to take this and I'm going to cut it at 4 1/4, like this. Okay. And I'm going to take this one and cut it at 4 1/4 as well. There we go. Now I'm going to decide which one. I've got the lemon lime twist card base here. And now I need to look at these and decide which one I want to use. Because you'll get 2 that kind of look really good as a portrait and 2 that look really good as a landscape. And you know what? I really like all of these. Even though I was kind of off center, it's actually come out really well. This is the center of the page. This is the center of the page. So I think I'm actually going to use this one. And then I save these, and these are 5.5 by 4 1/4. So remember, we need to trim them down. And this is where you make the decision on how you're going to trim it down. So I've got a lot of white space here and here. So these are the edges I'm going to trim off. I'm going to trim it down to 5 1/4 by 4. So this is my 4. And then this is my 5 1/4 here. So just trimming off some of that white. And as I say, if you wanted to add some more, you absolutely can. If you wanted to bring in the little leaf and just add some little leaves in, you certainly can. What I did at this point is I just blended some lemon lime twist just around the edge, because I found it quite kind of bright in here. So I'm not adding a lot of color. I'm just kind of softening up the white a little bit. It hardly shows at all, but it does help just kind of tone down the brightness of the white. And I need to stamp my hello. So I'm going to come in and I'm just going to pop it down like that. And then we've got the hello. And then I'm flat mounting it. And I've got some of these flat gems. I already kind of shot them across the pages, the iridescent adhesive back discs. And we're going to add some of those. And we make sure we've got the card base the correct way, and we just equal top, bottom, and sides. Drop that down. And then we're going to add some of these gems. I'm just going to take my take your pick tool, and we're going to add the green ones, and I'm just going to pop a few down. I did lots on my sample card. There's lots on here. I especially like these because if you're mailing a card, they don't add bulk to the card, and they're not going to kind of break through the envelope. So you don't really have to worry about adding like just a piece of cardstock over top to help stop it breaking through the envelope. And I'm going to add one more in here. I usually only add just a few pieces of bling, but I really like this on this card. So we've got our two versions here. We've got using the Petunia Pop with the pretty and pink flowers, and then we've got the Azure Afternoon with the second value Azure Afternoon for the flowers. So let me know which one you prefer, and let's create together again soon.